is the Harmattan going to stay with us this time round?
We are anticipating close to the end of January, but then we'll have more like a transition sort of a thing. The dust may not be there, but then we'll be having a feel of the dryness, and then temperatures will start increasing across the entire country. Currently, the sun, its apparent position is still in the southern hemisphere, so we are anticipating it pretty soon it will start coming back to the northern sector. So that's the northern hemisphere. So definitely temperatures will increase. So from mid-February into April, temperatures will also be a bit uncomfortable both day and night. But between now and that time, February, the morning and then the night hours, temperatures will be a bit comfortable. But then as we are having the moist winds coming in, then the place will become a bit warm. But from next week here, about I'm sure the morning temperatures will be a bit cooler for us along the coastal strip.
For the farmers and those who like to till the dirt and plant their seeds, which time will be most appropriate for them to do that?
As we start the year, the rainy season is not in place yet. Our seasonal forecast desks have started their work. It's not out yet, but in terms of climatology, we expect the rains in March, between March and May. This year they are checking. So once they are out, maybe we may have early onset or late onset. If it's going to be early onset, then by March thereabouts, we should be having a meaningful rainfall for farming activities. But apart from that, then it will be having a late onset, which should be in April into May across the entire country. But then it's not out, but climatologically between March and May, that's when we will be expecting our the start of the rainy season for farming purposes. So between now and that time, yes, some areas will be getting 1 or 2 rains, but it will not be meaningful for farming.
So that means that if we did not harvest enough towards the last quarter of last year, and now that we had Christmas and might have eaten quite a lot of what we harvested, and knowing that we have not industrialized enough to process a lot of our tomatoes and onions and the rest to store, then we might be in trouble for the first quarter of the year in terms of availability of food. Do you get that sense?
Oh, yes. Every year that's what normally happens because from August all the way to December to early parts of January, we do the harvest and then we have it in abundance. But as we are preparing towards the start of the season, you see that the quantity starts dropping as you rightly said. So definitely, yes, some crops may be in shortage, but then I think they have a way of keeping it in the. But some farmers are also into this mechanized farming on a small where they are doing irrigation
right?
For their vegetables and some other things. And some also do planting along the water areas, waterlogged areas during the Harmattan season. So we are hoping that the rains will not have 1 or 2 big rains that may come and disrupt that, because the moment that rain comes, then those areas may submerge into water, because already the place is waterlogged. So definitely, if you have a high intensity rainfall, maybe around 40, 50 millimeters, those areas may flood, and then those crops may be lost to us. So yes, for now we need to be a bit careful. But then I think those in the buffer house section should be able to advise us more.
Right. In terms also of preparation of the land for farming, you have to do that before the rains set in. A lot more farmers these days like to set the place on fire just so it could ravage and then save them some cost from the weeding and all of that. What do you say to them?
It's not just now. It has that activities or that exercise has been with us since during the dry season. There's the time they use the bushfires to clear the land and then make it ready because of the cost involved.
Right.
So most people will be using it. But as we always keep saying, we are in the dry season. The environment is dry. So if you want to use that method, I don't know if there is any policy regulating that aspect in Ghana. But if you want to do it, you need to be mindful. I know some cross sections has been educated on how to build fire belts around before you set the fire. So if you don't know how to do those things, this is the time that they should approach their extension officers so that they can take them through and guide them on what to do. And then if it is a must, then they have to be extra careful. Get the fire extinguishers handy so that in case of anything, they should be able to quench the fire before it spreads into the little harvest that we have done for 2023.
Should we be concerned about the quality of air that is presently around us that we are inhaling and all of that?
Yes, we should be cautious of it because what we have is minute particles or dust particles in suspension. And we have the pathogens in, or we have the parasites in. The sizes, so as you are inhaling to, it may also have an effect on our respiratory system. So we should be a bit careful. In terms of the quality, GMET currently our instruments are down, but I know environmental protection agencies are also doing something. But then visibility, yes, you can see that it's not too good for us to expose ourselves in it for too long. So those that are doing outdoor activities, we should at least get used to nose masks that COVID-19 has taught us. At least it may reduce the concentration that we may be entailing in there.
Young people and others who have building projects that are ongoing or about to start, will it be a good time at this first quarter of the year to start building?
Johnny, today you are making me a consultant in all the sectors.
Yes, please.
Yes, it's a good time, especially for the constructions of our drainage systems within the cities or highly populated areas. It should be a good time for us. This is the time if government per se wants to do any constructional work, the gutters by the roadside and all those things, this is the time because we may not be getting the rain. So they are free to put everything in order before the rain sets in. You know, when you mix the mortar and then the rain comes, it becomes waste. But between now and that March, yes, we have dry periods. So if you want to do re-roofing of your houses and whatsoever, this is the time. But then you still need to ask us so that we can give you a customized forecast at your location so that you should be sure. Because once in a while we expect 1 or 2 rains. So if you go and remove your roofing system and then that brief rain comes, maybe it may cause a damage to some of your electrical gadgets or even your mattresses that you are sleeping
documents
on.
Documents and all of that, right.
So they should still get to us and then we will guide them through. We have a lot of clients like that we guide them through and then they go ahead to do their roofing work. Those that are having leaking distance too, they also need to work on it now before the rain comes in. And if you know your building is about 20, 30, 40 years back, this is the time that you call the experts to come in and check if the frames are okay. And then if there is a challenge, you should be able to fix those areas. And community labor or something that we were introduced to.
Right.
This is the thing that they should reinforce it, so that those that are living around the water prone areas, the low-lying areas, that every year we have a problem with floods. This is the time that they all come together and trace the pathways of the waterways and create it, make it ready, so that when the heavy rain comes and we have runoffs, they can have their easy way to go, so they will not result into stagnating water that may cause havoc to us as human beings.
This customized service that you spoke about from the Meteo Department, how expensive is it?
Oh, Johnny, it's not expensive at all. Any Ghanaian can afford. We have for ordinary citizens, we have for contractors, farmers. So it's not expensive. They should get to us and then we'll help them.
I see. Business planning and the weather.
It's as low as 50-20 today. So now, depending on the number of days, the number of weeks, the number of months, and the number of years you are looking at for and your area. So everybody can afford it.
I see. So if I come to you, for example, for a customized weather update for the first 2 quarters of the year or half year, are you able to do that for me?
Yes. We do that. We do that a lot.
So presently, you have a forecast for the entire year.
Yes, we have. We mostly call it like a draft. But then it's now that they are going in for the second round, the third round before we come out with it. Because our system is dynamic. So if there is a little change, it brings a change somewhere. If there is a change in temperature, wind direction, wind speed at different levels, it brings in that impact on the weather. So you have to run it, all those scenarios before you come out. So this is where, as GMH, we also have a challenge because of computers. Because the ones we have, they are not supercomputers. All these things you need supercomputers to be able to run it. We are running WAF on daily basis, how the system will be, but this one takes only up to 2 weeks. But if we get more high-speed computers, we should be able to run within a day. We should be able to run for 3 months. We should be able to run for a whole year, and then we are cool to go. But for now, yes, we are doing it, but you have to be doing it big, and then putting everything together. That's most times we delayed a little bit before coming out with the seasonal forecast.
I see. And if I come to you to apply for a customized forecast and then there are changes, do I get the updates for free or do I have to still pay?
Well, you get the update for free. So what you normally do is that once you come a request, we put you on our list. So we update you as and when there is a need for that. So if you request for 2 weeks forecast, and we give it to you around the Adisa week, and for the next 2-5 days, then we'll give you an update. Once we spot something, we'll give you an update that yes, we said there will be rain on the 12th, but then the current the rain will not come. It will delay or it will come earlier. So you also adjust yourself to it. And some people too. Last year was a wonderful year for us.
Okay.
We had some customers that have funerals. So 2 of them were able to reschedule their time because of the second update that we came out with for them. And it was a good thing. So Ghanaians should come to us. That's a small fee for us to be able to buy our supercomputers.
And so if I am a young business person or I have a business and I want to put out my plan for 2024, it will be a good time to come to you for some weather updates so that I know exactly where to position my business and how to shape it for 2024.
Yes, especially those going into the professional work, those going into farming, because farming is booming, and myself too, I'm also going into it. So you need to know so that you can plan. And not only GMED that you have to contact, who will tell you how that year will be, the water and everything. But Ministry of Agric or Agric Extension officers will also be able to advise you on the type of crops that you need to plant at your individual location so that you can make maximum yield. The land is there, but we have differences in them. Some are clay, some are loamy, some are sandy. So you need to know the type of crops that you need to do. So if you cannot go on the net and check all these things too, but it's good you engage an expert in that field. So who will give you how the season will be like, and then the station officers will also come in. Now, we've asked to those that are into construction, the contractors and those things, they also need to come. We have the frequency curve rate data also available. That can also help them when they want to construct our unit system or our gutter, so that instead of doing a gutter that can take a volume of maybe 100 millimeters, and meanwhile, when we run it, you have to do like 200, so that when the extreme rainfall comes, the place will not be flooded. So this is the time that we should come, and it should be a policy that government has to put in place too, so that if you don't get the data or an advice from GMED, the contract will not be awarded to you. So it will marvel you that you have foreigners coming in more than our own local contractors.
I see. Let's talk about global warming and the weather. A lot is changing. The conversations are becoming bigger and bigger. What do Ghanaians need to know about global warming and the weather as we get into 2024?
Thanks so much for bringing this topic up. Global warming has to do with temperatures, and per the IPCC report, most of these things are caused by us as human beings, as human activities too, that has induced that in terms of emission of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and what have you. But then once temperatures are high, the response that has to do with evaporation leading to cloud formation and the precipitation will also be high. So if you have enough moisture in the atmosphere, definitely the volume of rainfall that will come will also be more. But then it will also alterate the pattern of the rainfall season. Because as you rightly said when we started the conversation, around this time we expect Accra to be having temperatures below 20 degrees Celsius. But then after the last week we were having around 24, 25 degrees Celsius. And the afternoon times we're having around 34, 35, which under normal circumstances we should be having in later parts of January into February. But then we are having it now. So definitely it will bring a tilt, which we all need to look out and then have a way of solving it, which we are, most people are also coming up with other activities. If you go to the Asia continent, they are doing rooftop gardening, rooftop farming, whereby those trees that they have cut down for construction work, those forest areas, they have put trees on top of the roofs that is also helping to absorb this carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to be able to regulate the temperature, whereby the effect may not be that much on us.
Felicity, I thank you very much indeed for your time. I don't know if Helen has a question for you, but yes, Helen.
I wanted to say, beg your pardon, Happy New Year, Felicity.
Oh, many happy returns, Helen. This time around, this year, I'll be more frequent at the studio.
Oh, we would love that, to see you in flesh and blood. I think Johnny has asked all of the very pertinent questions. I was curious about how Ghana feeds into the global warming agenda, especially considering last year when we had the dam spillage, there was extra rain forecasted. I wanted to know whether the Ghana Met in 2024 is well equipped to warn us about some of these happenings so that we're all able to stay safe.
Oh, thanks so much. Yes, we are equipped, but not too equipped. But then We are trying our best, and we keep doing that. If you remember, we even issued twice 2 alerts for the Harmattan season. The third one is on the way. We are preparing it. But then we need more to be able to meet up with the international standard. In terms of the global warming, yes, it's all over the globe. It's all of us that is contributing to that. So we in Africa, we also have a role that we are also doing. In Ghana, we have factories, we have cars, thousands of cars that every day is on the road. So we are all contributing to the carbon dioxide and then the carbon monoxide into the atmosphere, resulting into the warming of the atmosphere. The state of the climate, we've released one, but I may not be able to speak more into it. We'll have a time to talk about it and see how our temperatures are also behaving.
Thank you very much, Felicity Afianyo, for your time, and we wish you and your staff very well at the Ghana Met.
Thank you very much, and happy New Year to all the staff at 3FM and the media general. Thank you so much for always reaching out to us.
Thank you very much indeed. Is the time here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. They start dancing joyfully. They are going home to eat. They say masum. Masum.
Come on.
Oh my God. And you back to last year when the first gentleman of the land, he spoke to us. It's generated a lot of controversies on social media. Listen to him.
Next year is an important year in our democratic journey. We will hold on 7th December 2024 the 9th general election in the history of the Fourth Republic, which has witnessed the longest period of stable constitutional governance in our entire history. We all have a duty to conduct ourselves in such a manner that we have a free, fair, and transparent election that will enable the Ghanaian people choose, in peace and serenity, the person and persons who will manage their affairs on their behalf for the next 4 years. I'm confident that yet again, Ghanaians will rise to the occasion and reinforce the status of Ghana as a bastion of democracy on the African continent. For my part, I will always be grateful to Almighty God and to you, the Ghanaian people, for allowing